Good morning. Welcome everyone to our presentation, in which we are going to take a tour of the research that our team carried out about the impact of biodiversity loss. My name is Ana Laura. First, we are going to start by reading a famous Mahatma Gandhi quote. What we are doing to the forests of the world is but a mirror or reflection of what we are doing to ourselves and to one another. Mahatma Gandhi. The presentation is divided in 4 sections. Number 1, introduction, in which is explained what is biodiversity loss. 2, our objectives, that is, what we want to achieve. 3, the investigation, and at last, the conclusions. Now I'll leave you with my partner Diego.
Good morning everyone, my name is Diego and I will introduce you into the topic. What is biodiversity loss? It's the decrease or disappearance of biological diversity. We can say that is when we lose or we are about to losing a species. It can be a plant, an animal, an insect, etc. But why we are doing this? What we want to achieve, our objectives are following. To know what are the causes of biodiversity loss and also to demonstrate why it's important for everyone and for our future. As fact, did you know that Mexico is one of the top 5 megadiverse countries, along with Brazil, Colombia, and Indonesia? In order to achieve our objective, we need to make questions and answer them. We ask 4 main questions. The first one is what are the causes of biodiversity loss? Second, how it changed the ecosystem. At last but not least, how it affects us and our future. My classmate Emily will answer some of these questions.
Hello, my name is Emily and I will present this question together with my classmates. What are causes of biodiversity loss? Well, the 3 main causes are the climate change, the second, the introduction of invasive exotic species, and the last one, over-explanation. That is, the consumption at a speed greater than their natural degradation. The climate change is the first main cause of biodiversity loss. 1 of 5 species is in danger of extinction. Physiological stress, the loss of habitat distribution in species interactions. The timing in crucial life events and discussing to adapt. Then why invasive exotic species affect? Because aggressive grounds and can overwhelm and outcompete the local native species. Also because they become monotypic communities where the invasive species is the lowest plants growing, and on the overside, these new species introduce disease such as parasites, virus, and bacteria. Even we are affected, and because they also change contagion such as soil chemistry or the intensity of wildfires. How it's changed ecosystem, the consequence of the lost biodiversity and species extinction, because it is put a species danger of extinction and leaves of pit. It leads to imbalance in the ecosystem and cause proliferation of this. Also, this leads to the destruction of plant area and the increase in CO2 emissions because of the capacity of effects. Now we are going to show you some exciting species of human: the sailor sea cow, the panther pig, equation arch, wolf, matthew, and grayed out.
An interesting fact is that the pyramids were built while the woolly mammoth still populated Earth. Although most mammoths became extinct long before civilizations emerged, a small population survived until 1650 BC. At this time, Egypt was living half its imperial period, and the pyramids of Giza were already 1,000 years old. As my classmate Emily said, one consequence of the biodiversity loss is the appearance and spread of pests, which are destructive insects or animals that attack crops, food, and livestock. Some examples are mosquitoes, termites, and aphids. Another consequence is increase in CO2 or carbon dioxide emissions. We know that sea plants transform about 70% of the carbon dioxide to oxygen, forests and jungle about 80%, and the other 2% from other organisms and factors. But specialists believe that we lose 40% of phytoplankton because of global warming. The largest forests and jungles in the world are: number 1, the Russian taiga with 14 million square kilometers, the Amazon jungle with 6 million square kilometers, followed by the 4 million kilometers of Canadian forest, and finally the 3 million square kilometers of the United States. Many people do not care about this. Here is a consequence that could matter for everyone in our future.
Did you know that many experts think that cacao, coffee, and potatoes will cease to exist? How it affects us and our future? This is very obvious and simple. Biological diversity is the source upon which families, communities, nations, and the future generations depend. It is the link between all organisms on Earth, binding each into an interdependent ecosystem in which all species have their role. It is the web of life. The Earth's natural assets are made up of plants, animals, land, water, and the atmosphere, and humans. Together, we all form part of the planet's ecosystem, which means if there is a biodiversity crisis, our health and livelihoods are at risk too. But we are currently using 25% more natural resources than the planet can sustain. As a result, species, habitats, and local communities are under pressure or direct threats. Put simple, reduced biodiversity means millions of people face a future where food supplies are more vulnerable to pests and disease, and where fresh water is an irregular or short supply. Conclusion: the loss of biodiversity is when we lose a large part of the species or lose it completely. We are the main cause of this happening because we cause climate change, we overexploit natural resources, we modify the ecosystem, and we bring in invasive species. We have reached the point of extinction of majestic species such as a woolly mammoth. Due to climate change, we will run out of coffee and chocolate. In addition to this consequence, this is a non-stop cycle. We cause global warming, we lose biodiversity, and the same loss causes more warming. If we want to continue to exist, we need to learn that we must not exist only, but coexist. We are not the only living beings on this planet. We are only one of the millions of species that have inhabited this planet. Thank you for your precious time and attention.